You know, I don't like Star Trek Strange New Worlds. You know why I don't like it? Because they gave me hope, those pieces of shit. They gave me hope that we would have good Star Trek, right? They gave me hope. And then, I don't know what, their brain just melted in season 2. It's not just that it's overly woke, because it's not that. It's just real low quality writing. Very, very, very bad decisions in casting, right? It's just, it has got, it's gone very Me Too. It's got an 80% female crew. There's so many moments where they're in 10 forward, and why they have a 10 forward on the Enterprise, I don't know. They're in 10 forward, and there's a bunch of girls cackling together in a bar. Fuck off. Okay, that's not Star Trek, right? And then they try to do cinematic Star Trek. So this episode, they really, I think they tear apart quite a lot that they built up in the first season. The first season, again, what was good about it? It felt like Star Trek, right? They went to Strange New Worlds. They had, episodic adventures, right? It wasn't like previously on Star Trek, and you got to know all this different soap opera shit. Forget, okay, here is how television was made in the 80s and the 60s, for that matter. It was, you would always have to assume this is the only episode anybody's ever going to see. Stop with this previously on Star Trek nonsense, right? Which is what this is. It's all built about, it's about tearing apart the Doctor's backstory. And this is such a great character. He was a great character, played by a great actor, added real depth and emotion to the role. I just love this freaking character and how they've destroyed it this year. It's insane to me. Right, so in the first episode, they had him and Nurse Chapel taking this weird super drug so they can have this extended fight sequence, which was shit, right? It was genuinely agonizing shit. I was not happy with it, right? It just wasn't very good. And they tried. The trouble with that first episode, they tried to do cinematic Star Trek, and they just did it badly. It was too much autistic Spock. I can't stand the autistic Spock. That just annoys me, right? Spock isn't autistic. Spock is cool, right? Spock is genuinely cool with their witty comebacks. This Spock isn't. He's not cool at all. But yeah, so this ties into that, and also risks back to the Klingon War. Why reference Discovery? Why tie this great show into the rest of the Star Trek universe, which was shit? Star Trek Discovery is shit, right? I'm sorry, that's the only way of describing this. Star Trek Discovery is unwatchable shit, and always had. I like the first 8 episodes, but other than that, when Brian Fuller's notes ran out, it was absolute shit, and they keep tying back to that and going to having the crossover with Strange New with the Lower Decks. No, you morons. I want to get a newspaper and roll it up and hit Akiva Goldsman on the nose. Say no. I'm joking. Obviously, you shouldn't. I'm not advocating violence, but get the nose. Hit him on the go. No. Don't try that. The rest of Star Trek is bad. Everything has been bad until your show showed up. Right? It's been unbearably awful. Don't tie it into that, right? But let's tie it into Lower Decks, which was garbage. Anyway, so they start off another turgid episode. Whoosh! Off goes the Enterprise, and the aesthetic isn't carrying it anymore because it just doesn't have the characters, doesn't have the plot. This still looks beautiful, though. Still looks freaking beautiful. Da-da-da. So I missed out previously on Star Trek. So first, we start off with a new style of starship, and it's shit. Right, another, for fuck's sake, what is wrong with you? Nacelles and a dish, you fucking morons. Don't let's reinvent the wheel. No, why don't you stick with the shit that worked, you moron? Fine. So this is such an anti-Star Trek episode. It just annoys me how anti-Star Trek is. You have a Klingon ambassador meeting up with the Enterprise. And people are mad with the Klingons because of the war. And they're ferrying him somewhere or another. I guess they got rid of transporter chief Kyle, who became Asian Or then they brought in this like trans woman. I think she was trans. I can't tell anymore. Anyway, so this Klingon shows up. They're done with the Klingons. Now they've gone back to normal looking Klingons. I didn't mind the Klingons. I thought that was kind of a interesting new reinvention of the Klingons, right? So this Klingon was a defector, and he helped forge the peace after the war. I thought they had a peace because they dropped a giant bomb in the middle of Kronos or something like that, and they didn't have a choice what to make peace. But anyway, he was very influential in the piece, and they pipe him aboard, and he's just all like very mellow, like, oh, what is that? They pipe him aboard. Hi, I'm Captain Christopher Pike. I wasn't around during the Klingon War. We were out doing something else, so I'm just friendly and nice to you, right? And he said, oh, I'm a friendly, nice, lovable Klingon too. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx, one of the many excruciating women aboard the Starship Enterprise, is saying, oh, I don't like, because this, okay, they write her like a male character. I wouldn't mind if they wrote like female characters. And you know, during season 1, I would say Nurse Chapel, what's her name? I can't remember the name. Jess Bush, I think, and Uhura were all feminine, right? They're all strong, powerful women, but they're all feminine. She never was, right? They always wrote her as a male character. So she doesn't like the Klingons. He's like, oh, I don't trust him. And then she's like bad-mouthing him, and he's on the bridge, right? And he goes, oh, I'm a happy, lovey, cuddly Klingon, right? And he talks about how great starships are. Meanwhile, cosplay Spock is now dating Nurse Chapel, and they meet with him, and I can't even remember. They're talking about some bullshit or other. Oh, right. They're trying to make Raktajino, the Klingon coffee, but they haven't got it right yet. And they make it too hot, and he burns his hands, right? So he has to go to medical. And Dr. Mbenga, yeah, let's just write him like a completely fucking different character, right? Why maintain any continuity whatsoever? Let's just make him an entirely new character today, right? So he hates Klingons, as does Nurse Chapel. He's like, oh, I guess I'll deal with this, whatever. And he like flashes back, and he's like, oh, I don't like the Klingons. Then we get the titles: Member Berry. Looks kind of cool. Member Berry. Title, cool. So now it's called, this episode's called Under the Cloak of War. They should just kept this episode under a cloak, quite frankly. The Moon of Jagal a few years ago. I mean, like, really? Can you not just give the star date, you cunt? No, a few years ago. Why can the people writing this show not watch Star Trek, right? I mean, for fuck's sake, just put yourself on a course of watching Star Trek. You should watch 100 hours of Star Trek before you try and write Star Trek, right? And none of those 100 hours should come from Kurtzman Trek, right? Have an idea what this show is. So now they're in. So she's getting a shuttle ride to this moon of Jagal, which is where this Klingon was during the war. So pew 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 pew, and she meets up with the guy. So this guy is Charlie X. This guy was a kid in the original series, and so he gets a cameo in this episode. And so there is like some kind of medical outpost during the Klingon War, and it says like, find yourself a bunk or whatever. And then the alarm goes off, and they have to get up, and the doctor gets up. And he looks pretty good with his shirt off. He looks quite ripped, right? And they're seeing lots of blood and combat. Oh no, people are dying. Help us! So he has a trick. He can't save him, but he says, let's put him in the pattern buffer of the transporter. That should keep him alive, until we can get him to a starship. Yeah, and they don't have the like a tissue regenerator or whatever the equipment they need for some unknown reason. Anyway, back in the present day, the Doctor's got a lot of baggage about Klingons now. Again, out fucking nowhere. And he talks about Captain asks him and Chapel to go to his his cabin, his rooms for a dinner with the Klingon. They're like, fuck, no. Again, the idea of optimism, that we can move beyond our hatred, right, and for a better tomorrow, is the fucking core of Star Trek, right? It's the absolute burning core of it, right? It's the most, I think, probably the most important idea. No, you have these two characters say, fuck that. Oh, God, hate them. And look, she making some bad points, but fuck me, she looks good in that costume. Oh, she looks good in that costume. It looks good with that. She looks much better with that hair than her real hair, right? Which I think is red. And he's like, fine, we'll go together. And they're remembering back to the time in the in back on the moon on Jagal, and she has to like massage his heart so he doesn't die. And so he has bad feelings. Anyway, Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx doesn't really want to go in. She hates Klingons too. Says, "Come on, we'll put up it together." And I tell you, that looks like a good damn jambalaya that guy's made. The corn looks excellent too. But Chapel and M'Benga, they're like hating this, and Spock's like, they want him to change. They want him to stop talking about what a great peacemaker he is, this Klingon. So Spock says, I'll take care of this. So he goes over and asks him, can you compare Sun Tzu's Art of War to his Klingon book? And he's like, oh, yes, we can talk about this for hours and hours, right? And he's like, there you go, stop the talking. So they both drink a lot because they can't stand being around. Again, this is the antithesis of Star Trek. This is literally the absolute antithesis of all Star Trek. So that's the guy they were doing surgery on. He says, feels like somebody was squeezing my heart. I said, oh, yes, Nurse Chapel was doing that. And we get kind of a cool Andorran show up. Oh, I just wish they put the resources into something good, right? Oh, God, I hate this shit. So this is, again, okay, here's the things you're not allowed to write about, idiot Kurtzman Trek. Black Ops. Stop with your Black Ops garbage, right? Just stop with it. Can't freaking stand the constant Black Ops crap, right? So they're a Black Ops unit, and apparently M'Benga made this magic formula that he used in the first episode to make him into a super soldier. And can you make some more? I said, oh, I don't think I can. It's not right, blah, blah, blah. Said, but we're going into combat. Anyway, so more pleasantries, and M'Benga and Chapel are having fucked off, and they can't really stand it. And so eventually she's Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx says snipes, and they ask her to go, essentially. There are tensions, right? And he says he sees how much that M'Benga can't say. He says, maybe you want to go and check on Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx. Just as he's leaving, says, hey, I hear you do the Klingon calisthenic workout, just like Wolf did, right? Can we spar together? He's like, oh, shit, I guess so. Meanwhile, back in the flashback, he's about to go into like this big battle to take out that general, the same guy. And he says, oh, you'll go into combat, it'll be fine. And so they're getting ready for this battle. And he's like, be careful out there, right? He said, no, I'm a soldier, I'll be fine. Meanwhile, Spock is not Spock. He keeps experimenting with smiling. That one bit in the cage where he touches those leaves and smiles, they extrapolate way too much out from that, right? It's like, really? So more combat. Oh, it's all bad combat, and we got more people coming in. And it says, and the transport. Oh no, the transporter's down, right? They can't beam any more people in, and all these people are going to die. And said, oh, the only thing we can do is clear the transport buffer, but the guy they put in the transport buffer will be killed if that happens. No. So M'Benga says, oh, it just does it. Just hits the button and it clears. So then they do like the Wolf back in the present, Wolf Klingon shit. Why he does this, I don't know, if he hates Klingons, but okay, I don't get it, but that's just what's going down. Fine, and they do you know, it basically goes on, and he keeps winning. The Klingon keeps winning, and he says, "Look." Eventually, he says, "Look, if you can be with me, right? Be friends with me, then that's a great sign of peace, isn't it? That'd be great." So he does that. So then he flashes back to say, so he asked him about when he has the whole story about how he killed his own men so he can go and sue for peace, right? He says, so which of the men you killed, which one fought hardest? And they flash back to this battle, and he says it was to Plonk or whatever it is, essentially, yeah, he says M'Benga knows he's lying, and we find out how he knows he's lying in a minute. But yeah, we do more sparring, and he's like, so he basically says, "Look, I am not going to be, your person to make peace between Federation and Klingons, to make people get closer together. I fucking hate this." Again, what's the opposite of Star Trek? This is the opposite of bloody Star Trek, right? This is 100% the opposite of Star Trek. M'Benga's like very tortured, and all these people are killed. So that's when he decides to use his magic. The kid that he liked. Oh yeah, and apparently this general had ordered that anybody non-Klingon should be murdered, including children. That's what he had Chapel saving a kid just now, right? So here you go, because no, Klingons are going to get us. They're all bad. So this is the kid he saved earlier. So then he makes a decision. Meanwhile, in the present, number one, Una. I hate everything about this. I literally hate everything about this. Una is saying we need to get him off the ship. Morale's down. Again, opposite of fucking Star Trek. So he decides he's going to go and kill this Klingon, right? He's going to kill this guy so they can end the slaughter. And he gives Chapel a hit of his magic formula. Said if the Klingons come in, take this, and you'll be able to fight your way out. So he takes his magic formula, and off he goes. He's got that Klingon knife with him that we saw kill his lieutenants before, and he goes off into combat. So the guy comes in again and says, "Listen, if we can stand together, right, we can make peace. We can really bring healing to both our people." And he's like, "I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to know." Right? He said, "Please, just go. Just leave it alone." He says, "No, I won't go. You must listen to me." And then the truth comes out that he didn't really kill his followers. It was really M'Benga did it. And again, such a fucking stupid turn, right? It was like, it's just nonsensical. Genuinely nonsensical. So yeah, he tells them about it. Like, says, "Yeah, you're the person who said fought hardest wasn't it? It was really this guy." And basically, he escaped as he was killing all these other people, and that's why he sued for peace. And said, "Well, if you knew I was lying, I don't know." So anyway, it goes on, and you see he's got that Klingon knife there, right? And then he said, "Please, my friend, let us make peace together." And then you don't see what happens because it's through a frosted glass. A fight breaks out. And Chapel walks in and sees what's happening, and he's been stabbed with the Klingon knife, right? So they say that and we don't know this didn't happen, but we say that M'Benga attacked him rather than vice versa. And that's basically, and they got all the different Klingon blood on that knife of all the people that it's killed. And then they have a bit of a chat at the end, and it says, "Listen, you can really tell me whatever happened. That's why we have tribunals, things happen." And he basically says, "I'm not going to tell you anything." Basically, I'm just. And for me, this destroyed the character. This completely destroyed the character. Somebody I looked up to, somebody I really, really liked, right? Again, everything about this season has been about destroying whatever they built in the first year, right? And the bio bed breaks down again at the end. Fucking awful. Genuinely freaking awful. It's an affront to Star Trek, right? It's genuinely an affront to Star Trek. And I think, and that's not even the single dance one, which is coming out this week. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.